Welcome back, guys, to a very chilly mid-April here up on the ridge. It has been 15 to 20 degrees below average the last 2 weeks. We all had frost a couple nights ago. The other day it was high of like 48 degrees. It should be almost like 70 for the high this time of year. It should be almost time to start planting. That being said, today we're talking about 3 different ways to set up a new garden if you have a new property. And I'm going to show you right here what I've started with. Now right here, you see the previous video where I turned this over with the traditional manner, scraping the dirt off with the hoe, turning it over with the shovel. I let it sit for 2 weeks, and I came back and I hit it with the cultivator. So as you can see, it's nice and it's broken up, and it is going to sit for another week or so because it's still too cold to plant. But eventually, I'm going to get this planted. So this is probably the most traditional method you guys will experience when starting a new garden. You're going to break out the tiller, maybe you're going to bust it up with a shovel or something to kind of loosen it up, especially with this hard mountain clay. This stuff is hard to work with, so I do advise you to kind of break it up if you have the opportunity to. That being said, the next 2 methods I'm going to show you don't involve really turning the dirt over at all. So we're going to go ahead over here and let me show you what I'm talking about. Okay, so the first I'm going to show you here is this was just plain grass, guys. This was just the field is overgrown, trying to get it tamed down, working on it still. But this was just a nice little flat spot, and I figured, hey, this might be a nice spot to try to till it up a little bit. I'm thinking about putting some fruit bushes in here, maybe some like a fruit tree or apple tree or something in this little spot and kind of work with it. But that being said, guys, look at this. Was the grass that was here on the ground. And all I did was bust this up with a little cultivator. Didn't really go very deep at all, maybe the first top, maybe inch or two, and let this grass right here. So my logic being, you want to kind of cultivate it up a little bit, and this is just going to sit, and the grass is going to break down, hopefully kind of compost down a little bit. And then eventually, like I mentioned, if I plant a fruit tree or something like that, I'll actually dig a hole where I'm going to actually do that, amend that soil, and then kind of go from there. This hopefully will at least keep the grass at bay, enough time for me to kind of plan on what I'm going to do. So if you don't have the ability to turn the soil over, if your back hurts or you're just not able to, yeah, you can do this method. It's not advisable because if there are deep taproots in these perennial grasses, they are going to grow back. But like I said, it is an option. If you want to go back and recultivate it a couple times, maybe kind of pull the roots out, it's a lot of work. But if you don't want to, you want to do minimal till or low till, or even transition into a no-till way, you can do this. But if you want to do the ultimate no-till, I'm going to show you how to make a little garden with just some cardboard and some compost and some readily available organic materials you can collect from your yard, your property, or the woods, or pretty much anywhere. So let me go ahead and take you over here behind you, and let's show you how the easiest method to make a new bed that's easiest on your back and doesn't even cultivate the soil whatsoever. So let me talk about that. Here we go. So if you watch my other channel, Dave the Hillside Gardener, my urban city gardens, you've seen episodes where I've done this before. It's nothing new. It's all over YouTube. You can find many people who do this, but let me show you my way I'm going to do it out here on the ridge. Now, what I've done is I just laid down some cardboard that I've collected for a little bit just for this project. Ideally, you want to kind of overlap, excuse me, overlap the edges to prevent any kind of grass or light getting down into that. But that's what I have. You can get more compost, more cardboard in the future, but just kind of giving you a rough idea of what we're doing here as an experiment. Now, first things first, you kind of get your barrier. Now, what I'm going to use here, now this is mostly just mulched up grass and leaves, guys, from today's clearing of the field. And all I'm going to do, you don't really need to overthink this, guys. You put your first layer of grass clippings, you know, they can be green. You don't have to worry about making them all the way down. What you're doing is getting a nice little, just a nice little base layer here, okay? So what I have an abundance of are leaves and grass clippings, so why not put them to use? Now this grass is going to be high in nitrogen. It's going to make a nice little barrier. It's going to break down quickly, so you want that, you know, as your base layer. I would not want to put this on top because that would not be the best way to go about doing it. So like I said, keep doing that. So we'll come back when it's all covered up and I'll show you what we're doing. Now, once your grass clippings or your base layer of leaves is down on the cardboard, okay, next you need to get a source of manure. Now, this is not rabbit feed, but guys, this is rabbit manure. So this is a year old at this point, but the good thing about rabbit manure, you can use it fresh. That is correct. You heard me right. Fresh. It's not like chicken manure or horse manure, stuff that needs to be broken down and composted before you use it on the garden. Rabbit manure can be used fresh. So I like to use this stuff, guys. I know a guy who raises rabbits for meat. He has an abundance of this. So all I'm going to do now is just put a nice little layer of this composted rabbit droppings on the garden. Now, as this is just an experiment, in a perfect world, I'd have had 4 or 5 more bags of this rabbit manure, which I plan on getting some in about a week from the guy. But for the purpose of this video, you're gonna layer down your manure layer. It doesn't need to be super thick. You don't need to go crazy with it because we are gonna add some more stuff to this, but that's gonna get a lot of microorganisms, a lot of soil bacteria and microbes are gonna be in that manure. So that's actually gonna help boost the soil life and get this off to a good start. And if I saw right here, yeah, guys, this is rabbit manure. Got some nice earthworms in there, some little compost worms. Already breaking stuff down, so put you back over there, little guy, and it's going to start breaking down those grass clippings and mixing in this manure. It's going to be great, guys. But now I'm going to show you what else I'm going to use. Now, I mentioned this before in another previous video. A local nursery, they grow, I guess, hydroponically or in a greenhouse. These are cucumber growing bags, basically, but this is some old bedding. But this right here, if you see, this is coconut fiber or coconut coir that they use for the grow bags for growing cucumbers. So they just give this away in the spring, and I ended up getting a bunch of bags of this, and I spread it around the garden so far. But if you can find some free resources like this, absolutely take it, guys. Anything that is organic can go on to your lasagna garden, your cardboard compost pile, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, so I got this for free. You guys look around, especially on the side of the road. People, they cut their yards in the spring, they clean out leaves, they just bag them up and just throw them away. That's such a waste. If you have leaves like that, guys, take them. If you have a mower, preferably one with a bagging attachment, it's a lot easier to kind of collect them that way. But if not, you can just hit them with the mower, rake them up, put them in a bag, spread them out on your garden, on your compost pile, whatever you can do. There's tons and tons and tons of organic matter. If you guys are cleaning out, behind your house, this spring, myself at my house, I was just kind of cleaning out, and leaves and dirt and stuff like that kind of accumulate between the house and the garage and things like that. Guys, it was teeming with worms. It was black gold. I took that, I put it in my compost pile, let all those little worms and bacteria and microbes go to work breaking stuff down. So there's organic matter all around you guys. Don't be afraid. People throw old flower pots and stuff away. Grab that old potting soil, toss it out in your compost pile, or throw it in the garden. Just it's old Pro Mix or something like that. It's just mostly old peat or just some old potting soil, vermiculite, things like that. It's not going to hurt, guys. Just throw it in there. Unless you know someone who has some diseased plants or some kind of like they've been using a bunch of chemicals or something like that, maybe you don't want to use that. That being said, find anything you can that's organic and put it on top of this this next layer. So to be honest, guys, I should not have used this large of an experiment for this video because I didn't have enough organic material to really do this justice. Now, this would have been great if I had just stopped like maybe this side right here and just piled it on real nice and deep, which is what you should do. And I do have opportunity to get more organic matter. This is actually going to be built up several times before I get around to actually planting in it. As this is mid-April, like I mentioned, the best time to do this, at least in my opinion, is in the fall because it gives, you have your autumn leaves, your grass clippings, all that kind of, your old garden waste, things like that. You can throw it on in the fall and let it break down, be ready for spring. That being said, what I'm going to do with this bed, since we just got this property, so it's a little bit late in the game for that, mid-April, like I mentioned, I'm going to just keep piling organic matter on top of this. Like I mentioned, I have some more, about 4 or 5 more bags of the rabbit manure coming my way in the next week or two from a friend of mine. So I'm going to definitely pile that on. There's tons more grass to cut here, guys. Tons of leaves to hit up. So this can be full of grass clippings, leaves, things like that. Kitchen scraps, as it accumulates, you're going to have more and more organic matter. So I'm going to let this go and just keep building it up until maybe August, and then I will actually put fall crops in this. This is going to be a fall dedicated bed, maybe some cabbages, some broccoli, turnips, things such as that. But yeah, you would not really want to plant directly into this. Now, if you really, really wanted to, and you really, really had to get something down, and this was your only opportunity, what I'd recommend you do is get some bags of finished compost and some garden soil, mix it up really well, and just actually make a hole through the compost. Find the cardboard, cut a slit or an X in through the cardboard, kind of push down so it gives the roots a chance to finally, find its way in there. Fill it full of compost and soil, plant into that, and keep it mulched around it, and you're on your way. It's not the best way, but if that's what you have to do, if this is the only opportunity you have to get a garden in the ground, go ahead and do that right now. But like I mentioned, do this in the fall if at all possible. I'm doing it now for a fall crop, giving it time to break down. That's just what I have. So hopefully I was a little bit informative, a little bit different video today, guys. We're not really hitting up the woods. We've been plowing things up. We've been cutting grass, getting brush and all this tall grass and everything cut down, trying to get the property under a little bit tame before the summer really starts going. Yeah, but we're, like I mentioned, hopefully about 2, 3, hopefully not 4 weeks away from planting out here, guys. Hopefully the spring does decide to finally show up and we can warm up. I'll bring you back when I start planting the gardens, kind of show you what we're doing with that. Maybe next time we'll be on a woodland adventure, checking out some more stuff. Maybe we'll find some more turkeys, who knows. Thanks for watching, guys, from up here on the ridge. Hope you liked it. If you did, give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you next time, guys, out here with another hillside ridgetop adventure. Till then, bye-bye.